A Torah observant Jew.
Yeah, yeah. Someone who identifies as Torah observant. Every Torah observant Jew sins at different times.
Thank you. There's no perfect people.
Right. But someone who identifies as a Torah observant Jew.
I don't like labels, as you can probably start
sensing that.
There are Jews, and there's one Torah, right? That's it. There's one Torah. We all have to follow it. You know, and all these Orthodox, Reformed, Conservative, Reconstructionist, Creative, and all this stuff. It's a bunch of bullshit. There's one Torah. We all have to follow it. None of us are perfect, and we all try. Right? That's all. That's what it is. Okay. There's no labels. There's a spectrum, if you will, but there's no labels. You know, there's a thing called Shomer Shabbos. You keep Shabbos, and if you do really keep it, then you're considered from. Right? And if you don't, then you're considered not from. You're considered fry, secular. Right? So you're saying of those people who've already made the effort and they're keeping Shabbos.
Yeah.
Right?
They're keeping Shabbos, but they're banging shiksas.
They're banging shiksas, and I say, thank God, at least they're keeping Shabbos.
Yeah.
Thank God, at least they're keeping Shabbos.
Yeah. And just like with the beavers and the rabbits, like perhaps like the greatest kedusha that they could achieve, or they can't achieve kedusha, but like to give their lives meaning, would be to sacrifice themselves to go on a Frun Jew's head. So too, perhaps for these non-Jewish women, this could be like the ultimate peak in their human experience of kedusha.
Because they had a little Yiddishkeit was stuck into them.
Yeah, they get a touch of chosenness.
I don't know how to answer that.
Do you see the analogy there between the beaver and the
non-Jewish
woman?
No, not at all. They might. I mean, I can't answer for non-Jewish women. Maybe they feel like that, but it's not the same thing. Because there's a mitzvah. There's a thing, you know, a mitzvah to put on tefillin, cover your head. You know, so if an animal provides their life for that to happen, that's a great thing, you know. Right. But there's no mitzvah to bang a shiksa.
What if it enables the Jew to study Torah more effectively? Like he's distracted from his Torah by his sinful urges, and if he could just like release his sinful urges, he could get back to studying Torah.
This is a serious question.
Yeah.
I don't. It's you know what? It's not a mitzvah.
It's not a mitzvah.
It's still not a mitzvah.
Is it better for an observant unmarried Jewish man to have relations with an unmarried Jewish woman or with an unmarried non-Jewish woman, or is it equally sinful?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure. There's a ritba that would seem to indicate, I believe, I mean, I haven't learned these halachas in a long, long time. It's been like 20 years or so since I really looked this up, but I believe there's a ritba who's a Rishon, and he said, I seem to indicate that being with a non-Jew may not even be problematic at all. But we certainly don't hold that way.
This is not poskening. We're just
right. But I don't think any Rishon says that about a Jewish woman.
Yeah.
You know, because it's always like, you know, this is really bad. But I'm not going to even try to answer that. I'm not going to try to answer. Ask somebody's more knowledgeable.
Yeah, we're not poskening. We're not laying down and making ruling on halakha. You should ask your local Orthodox rabbi. You have a relationship with someone who knows you. And go to guidance. We are discussing Torah. We're not passing down rulings for the Yidden to follow. We've got a lot of non-Jews who seem to Facebook friend you and to post on your Facebook, and they're here in the chat room, and you can tell because they have very nice manners.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Like they say please and thank you, and they're very polite, and so we have a lot of non-Jews in the chat room, and many of them are interested in converting to Judaism.
Oh yes.
And I was wondering if you had any wisdom that you could share with them about converting to Judaism.
You actually have a lot to say about Judaism.
Go for it.
I can fill a couple of your YouTube tapes. Is it all right?
Go for it.
All right, I have a lot to... Okay, so here we go. Drum roll.
Da-da-da-dum.
We're going to talk about conversions now. Here's what's happening. Can I put this down?
Yes.
Because my arms are going to wave.
Yeah, no. Anything you need.
Okay, so we're going to talk about conversions now, folks. First of all, before we do conversions, let's understand, we talked about last week, like, you know, the different, there's two types of people in this world.
Mm-hmm.
You remember who they are?
Gays and straights.
No. There's two types.
Litvish and
No.
Hasidic.
No. People who do porn and people who don't. And people who lie. No, people who watch porn and people who lie. Yeah.
And women.
Yeah. No, there's two types of people. There's Jews and non-Jews. Okay, there's Jews and Goyim.
Right.
And here's how it works. What's a Jew? Let's understand what's a Jew, right? A Jew, there's two ways, and only two ways you can become a Jew. That you are a Jew.
Yeah.
Your mother is a Jew, because we are matrilineal, meaning that from the time of Mount Sinai, when we all became Jewish people, when the Jewish nation emerged, until now, it's always been whatever comes out of the mother's womb is that person. So there was women in the desert, and their kids became Jews, and you know, the women who from that, then the next generation, their kids became Jews, and all the way down until today. So if that chain is unbroken, then you're a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
That's one way.
Mm-hmm.
The other way is what's the opposite of that? If your father was born to a Jewish mother, but he had relations, he got married. Actually, we talked about last week, there's no such thing as a marriage between a Jew and a non-Jew.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. So he had relations, or he had a civil marriage with a non-Jewish woman. Then you're not a Jew. Now, it doesn't matter that your father tells you, oh, you're a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
Your father's wrong. He's not. He's incorrect according to Judaism, according to Torah. If your mother's a non-Jew, you're not a Jew. That's how it is. And that's very important because we have a lot of what they call intermarriage in America today.
Mm-hmm.
Jews and non-Jews. I think it's 55% of all Jews go on to get civil marriage to a non-Jewish person.
Yeah.
If they're a female, their kids will be Jewish, even if the father is not Jewish. But if they're male and they like the Asian chick, they get involved with her.
Yeah.
Which seems to be very popular these days. Then their kids are not Jews. And you can tell them, and you can raise them, quote-unquote, Jewish. I just saw a thing today on your blog about some baseball player on the Mets.
Oh.
Did you?
I didn't read my blog.
Oh, you didn't read your blog?
Yeah. Go ahead.
You didn't even read your blog.
No.
You don't even, you just put things out there, you don't even know what's up.
Correct.
You put a thing on it about this, there was a feature, and it was, I watched it, and there was a guy in the Mets, and he plays first base or something, and he comes from an intermarriage, okay, and his mom is a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
So he's actually a Jew. He's 100% Jewish. By the way, that's another common misconception. There's only 0% Jewish and 100% Jewish. There's no 50-50, okay? If you're from an intermarriage, there's no 50-50. You're either a Jew or you're not. It's that simple. If your mom is the Jew, then you're a Jew. If your dad is the Jew, then you're not. And that's it.
Right.
That's it. There's no like 50-50, because I hear people say, oh, I'm 50-50.
Right. There's
no 50-50 with Jews.
Right.
It's 100 or 0.
Right.
It's like I'm a 50-50 pregnant. That doesn't work. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy, he goes, well, I'm a Jew, right? And it turns out he is, because his mom's a Jew and his dad is a non-Jew, and he was saying, like, I grew up, I learned a little bit from both sides, which was cute. And then he said, like, but mostly we celebrated Christmas, but we also celebrated Hanukkah. This is what I love. Hanukkah is the big Jewish holiday. In Judaism, Hanukkah is a minor holiday. Right?
Yeah.
It's a minor holiday. Like the big ones are Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, right? And he's like, but we also celebrated Hanukkah, but mostly Christmas,
Yeah.
But hey, I was brought up with both. No, you weren't. You were brought up with nothing. This guy has no clue what Judaism is, right? But, he's not lying. He just doesn't know. I feel terrible for him. The guy doesn't even know what he doesn't have. Because you can't raise someone, quote-unquote, Jewish unless you're following it yourself. But when you go ahead and marry somebody who's not Jewish, that's it.
Yeah.
There's no way to bring up your kid. How are you going to bring them up to really be Jewish? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's not for me to judge, right? But I just said thinking to myself, even if you bring up your